Hi, hello everyone. Yeah, welcome to the full stack development session. So my name is Keshav. I will be the trainer for your full stack development training. For getting into what exactly the full stack development is and what are the things we discuss in full stack development. So before getting into that, I just would like to start with something like the main software applications we usually see in computer world. Okay, so what are the different kind of applications we usually observe that I'm going to discuss now, and with that, and we'll be uh, starting with full stack development. Okay, so when it comes to the software applications, we have a bad broad categories there. Something like first, I will be writing some examples for them. Something like here, media players, or something which I'm using right now. That is Paint and something like a notepad, etc. So these are examples for one category of software applications here. Next here, something like Gmail, IRCTC, something like Facebook, Twitter, etc. So these are other kind of applications here. So if you look into these applications, so forget about the technicalities of those applications, how those have been built and what are the technologies behind that, and just leave everything. Just observe uh, these applications. Okay, so just by looking at them in a simple way, we can able to say like there is a fundamental difference between them, right? So what is that fundamental difference you are able to see between those two categories here? Anyone? You can let me know that in the chat box. What is the fundamental difference between them? The first category and the second category. Any idea?
First one is the what is called as a single one, means we can install any software once only, means any PC. We cannot use multiple users. So second one is for completely for the social media. We called as Gmail, IRC, Facebook.
Okay, but the IRCTC is also there, right? Book My Show, IRCTC,
Mono,
some other applications.
monolithic application. Anyone can use it, so we can freely. I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but not social media. Okay. Yeah, anyone can use, but not social media. Okay, fine. Yeah. And someone has told let Chindu. Yeah, good. Correct. Yeah. See here, the thing is, what is the main difference? Someone has told, but before getting into that simple thing, in a what I can say is assume like like a layman who doesn't know anything about the technicalities and how the things will be working and all. Still, one thing we can able to say like to run these applications, whatever it is there on the top, we don't require any internet support, right? We don't require any internet. But if you want to work with these kind of applications, the second category, so definitely we need internet to run them, right? So that is the fundamental difference, I can say. The first moment whenever we look at that, that is the difference between it, right? Yeah. So usually we call them as standalone applications. Here there is one special name is there for these applications. We call them as standalone applications here. And the second category we call them as web-based applications here, as they are using internet to run. We will call them as web-based applications here, or people call them as web applications. So why these are web-based applications and why these are standalone applications? How they are going to work? We are going to learn a bit now. So if you want to work with any standalone application, the name itself is suggesting if you want to work with them, you require only a single system at a time. Only one system should be in working mode. That is, whatever may be the system which you are using, that PC or tablet or laptop, whatever it may be, one system must be in working mode, and in that system already a software, some software, whatever it may be, you're talking media player or page, whatever, that software is already it's been installed once, and you can able to use it, you can able to work with that one, you can able to run it any number of times you want. Yes, you can able to run that one. Got it, right? So this is about your standalone application here. But the contrary to that one, that is uh, this Gmail. Whenever you want to work with Gmail or whatever it is, here something is called Facebook, Gmail, whatever may be the application. If you want to work with these applications, definitely you require internet connection, right? So here the meaning of internet connection here is nothing but here two systems must be in working mode. If you really want to work with any of these web-based applications, two systems must be in working mode. So in that we have something called client machine will be there, and the next will be there something called a server machine. We call it as a server machine. So client machine is nothing but the system which we use. So it can be a desktop system, or it can be a laptop, or it can be a tablet or phone as well. So this is called a client system, and somewhere else the server system will be there. So that is located at some remote place. Assume if you are talking about a Gmail or Facebook, Facebook will be at Facebook server will be at Facebook office, right? Which is not here. So this is called a server machine. This is called a server machine here, and this one is called a client machine here. And now these two systems must be in connection always to achieve this application facility or utility. If you want to use them anything, so there must be a connection. So that connection is the one which we cannot establish on our own, right? So yes, if you want you can, but that is practically impossible, right? So already there is one connection is there in this entire world, that is called internet, right? So internet is already available, right, through which every system is already connected. So in that category, assume like your system is also connected to that particular line called internet over there, and assume here this is your system, and this is your friend system, and this is your another friend system, and this is something your other friend system, something like that. They are connected. Like that, these are different systems which are connected to internet also. So in that you'll be having your own PC, your friend PC, something like that. At the same time you'll be having server PCs also connected to that one. So assume here something you're able to see like here green color. Yeah, this is assume Gmail PC, Gmail server, or this is something like Facebook server. Okay, and something like that. These are some servers which are also connected to your internet connection here. And if I want to connect to Gmail specifically, then what I have to do is here, I have to type the address of Gmail, that is the IP address of the Gmail server. So like that, I have to remember, we have to remember the IP address of all systems here, all server systems. But practically, it is impossible to remember the IP address of all the systems, right? All the servers which are connected to the internet here. So yes, we can able to connect, but by using that IP address, but remembering them will be, definitely would be a hectic task, a difficult task, right? So that is the reason we have generally to connect is IP address. The only solution is IP address, but other than that, IP address here, we have something called domain name. There is something called we'll be using something like a domain name, right? IP address usually it will be in terms of something like 192 point something 09 something like that. It will be there, something like that. Here when it comes to domain name, if you are talking about Gmail server, then the domain name for Gmail would be like this here. Got it? Something like www.gmail.com kind of thing would be there. So using that, you can able to connect to that one. Okay, fine. Assume now assume like you have connected to that one. Then what happens generally? All the time you open Gmail, what exactly the first thing will be happening? You will be getting some page, right? So the moment you start with that website called Gmail, if you type that one, then you'll be getting something like some information will be there where something like some sign up page or something, I can say like the registration page you are able to see, or sign in page you are able to see, whatever it may be, either sign up or sign in page you are able to see. So at that time what you'll be doing, you will be entering some data in that sign up or registration page, right? So what kind of data you'll be entering? You'll be entering something like your name, first name, last name, and your mail ID, some kind of you'll be entering, right? And after some time, what you'll be doing, you'll be clicking a button called register here or sign up on. Whatever maybe the button is, that button you'll be clicking. Got it, right? Then what happens after some time? Then you'll be getting a message like your registration successfully finished. Got it? Okay, after some time means it will take just a second or millisecond or just half second. Within that time, it will be happening. And if you do registration, then tomorrow what you'll be doing? Tomorrow you don't do registration again, right? You'll be going directly with login or sign up activity here. So directly you can able to do something called sign up. There what will be there? Just username and a password will be there. You won't be having something like first name, last name, a mail ID, phone number. The way you did in sign up activity will not be there again. So just sign in. You can able to do. Yes, fine. But what I'm telling here is whatever you are entering the data as a sign up activity, then you are clicking the button, right? From there you will be doing, from your client mission only you'll be doing, right? At your phone only you'll be doing, through your phone only you'll be doing. So that is called a request here. So request will be sent from client machine to server machine. Next, after entering the data, after clicking a button called register, what you will be getting? I told something like some message like registration successfully finished, right? So that registration successfully finished, that is called a response here. So response will be generated from the server and it will reach the client. Got it? Client is nothing but the machine which you are using at your home, that is like computer, a normal computer, or it can be a tablet, or it can be mobile, anything from which you are connecting to your Gmail server. Got it, right? So this is what will be there in any web-based application you take in this entire web world. This is the one will be happening. So from the client side, always a request will be sent, and that request will be served inside the server machine. All the times the request will be changing, the type of the request and the style of the request will be changing. And after the request is entering into the server machine, server will process that request and it will be generating a proper response, and that response will be sent back to the client machine. Got it, right? So now this is the way how a web-based application or a web application will be working. Got it? But where this full stack word will come into picture, right? So okay, so we'll take some more time to get into that what exactly full stack is. But here important thing is I am telling the request is going, okay, fine, but in the server I am telling that request will be served, right? And as per that request a proper response will be generated, and after that as per that response, you know some kind of data will be displayed in the client machine, right? That is what we are doing. But to do that, who is doing that activity at server? You got it, right? So to do that, something should be there, right? So here there already something will be there to handle all such things is called a server side software. A software is already reside inside your server called server side software, and this is the one which is responsible for doing all these activities. Got it, right? And this is called server side software. Yeah. So to develop, so now the question is to develop anything software. We have to write programs. Right? Software is nothing but what? Set of programs. If you want to write a program, then definitely you require a programming language. You have to take the help of a programming language. Okay, before getting into that, here this is called your server side software. Next, at client side, to send the request, there should be something, right? What I can say is you are entering some data in some fields and then you are clicking some button, right? Yes or no? So means first that field should be there, right? Someone has to create that field. Call first name, last name, mail ID, phone number, place, location, nation, something like that will be there, right? So that is nothing but a sign up page. I can say something like sign up page. So kind of some pages will be there, right? At client side as well. So to work with that application, you require client side also some kind of software here. That is called client side software. But in another words, in simple words, we can call it as a website, guys. Got it? Something we'll be using here is called a website. So with the help of that website, we can able to connect it to the server at the backend, which is present at at some remote location that might be present. Yes, we can able to connect to that one with the help of the website here. So this is called a website. So website is nothing but a client side software here. Okay, fine. But what exactly this website will be containing? Just now we have seen, right? Website will be having something like sign up page, that is registration, or it can have something like a sign in page, or it can have something like a home page, or something like a payment page, depending on your application. Depending on that, your website will be containing different web pages. But as a whole thing, what I can say is, like, your website is nothing but it is a collection of different web pages. Yes, sir. All these web pages together forms a website. All these web pages integrated together to perform or to serve particular task is nothing but a website here, right? So a website is nothing but a collection of web pages. Clear? So to develop the website, we have to develop the web pages. Fine, that is at client side. Next, to develop the server side software, definitely we have to write the program. We have to write the program. Some program has to be written, right? If you want to write a program, definitely you have to take the help of certain programming languages, right? So here, if you want to develop server side software, there are certain popular programming languages. They are, you can use any one of them. Here you can use either Java or something like Python, or you can use something like Node here, or people call it as Node, or some people call it as Node.js. Fine, any name is fine. Yeah, okay. And other than that, you have something like .NET as well. If you want to use, yes, you can able to use .NET also. Any one of them is fine. You don't require all of them, either Java or Python or Node.js. Using that, using your programming ability, that logical ability, you will be writing certain program. Got it? What exactly that client side software will do? See, guys, first time you are doing sign up activity, right? Then in that sign up page, you will be entering some data, that then you will be clicking request, right? Then what is happening, at the back end? That data will be taken and that is get loaded into server. Then what server will do is, inside the server you'll be having different activities, right? So for different action, different activities will be there. So like assume like you have something called registration activity, and assume you have something called login activity, and then assume something like have payment activity. Got it, right? Something like mail sending activity, send mail activity, something like that. Now different activities. Assume like you are doing that registration, then the data will be coming from the client machine into your server machine. Then what exactly server will do here is, server will be calling a database here. So server will have its own internal database will be there. The database could be anything, guys. It can be a Oracle, or it could be a MySQL database, or a SQL server, or it can be anything. So it will be calling that particular database, and it will be storing that data into that particular database here. Got it? So whatever the data comes, that data will be stored into the database at that moment. So that is a registration activity. Okay. And after some time, or after one day, what you will be doing? If you want to work with that application, you no need to do sign up activity one more time, right? Yes or no? Then what will be happening? You'll be simply entering your username as well as password. Then what happens? That same data will come into your server machine. Then with that username, whatever maybe the password you are entering now, that will be checked with yesterday's one. Got it, right? Because yesterday you you have done with an activity called registration, right? At that time you might have given your own password, some password. Now it will be checked, that password will be retrieved now, username password, and that will be matched in this login activity. You got it, right? So some program in that, what will be there, whatever the password you are entering now and whatever the password is there earlier, the both will be matched. If they are matched together, that is like if they are same, then what happens, a response will be generated, and that will be sent back to client machine. What is the response, guys? Here the home page will be generated. Got it? If both are correct, username and password are matched, then a home page will be generated as a response, and the same will be sent back to the client machine from the server here. Got it? Yeah. Next, another case, if the password do not match, if there is an error, then what happens? So instead of sending that home page, the same login page will be there. but with some error message it will be sent. Got it? Something like in some blue color or red color, you will be able to see something like just to below to your username and password field, you're able to see something like password do not match, forgot password, or username and password do not match, or something went wrong. Such kind of messages you are able to see something, right? So that is like, that is also a response which is generated from the uh, server side, and that will be sent back to the client side. Got it? So this is what usually happens in working of any real-time web application. You take any web application, this is what happens. A request will be there and a response will be there. Request is nothing but whatever the things user performs on that particular application at that time, runtime, I can say, or dynamic, I can say, at that moment, whatever user clicks or something, that is called, a request will be sent. Sometimes the request will be normal, sometimes the request will come with some data. It depends. Got it? So, but they are request only. Clicking something is called, a normal request where you are not sending any data, but you are asking your server to retrieve one more web page, a new web page or something like that. Got it? That is normal clicking. But if you are doing something like, what I can say is entering some registration form, and then you are clicking a button, submission button, then you are passing some data also through your request. Got it? So a web application workflow is nothing but it's a set of, or it's a combination of request and response. Got it, guys? So this is what usually happens. So as I told here, server-side software, okay, assume either Java, Python, or Node. Using them, you can able to develop that software. Okay, by writing program, you can do that one. But coming to this one, client side, what is this one? Website, right? As I told you already, here, a website is nothing but here it is a collection of different web pages here. So here, website is nothing but it's a set of web pages here. Yeah. So here, website is nothing but set of web pages. Means one should know web page development, right? So to learn, to understand what exactly the meaning of website, or if you want to develop any website, first you should understand how to develop the web page. Because if you know how to develop a sign up page, then you'll be knowing how to develop the sign in page. Then you'll be creating something like, home page, something like that. Different pages you can able to create. If you can integrate all the pages together, all web pages together, that is nothing but a website. Got it? So that is, if you want to create a website, you need web page knowledge. Means first you should know how to create a web page. Here also, if you want to do something in the software, definitely you require a certain technology. You have to take the help of certain technology to develop the server-side program. We have to take here Java, Python, and all right. The same way, if you want to create something like a web page, there are certain technologies one must and should know. They are here. Three technologies are there for your web page development. Those three technologies are HTML, CSS, and something called JavaScript here. So here this is three technologies. At server side, I told Java slash means R, Java or Python or Node.js, right? But here client side or website side, you have to learn these three technologies: must HTML, CSS, as well as JavaScript, and using them you can able to develop the web pages here. Got it, right? Then you may get doubt something like, why three technologies? Definitely three technologies, because here the purpose of each technology is different, or the role of each technology is different in a designing of a web page here. Got it? So what exactly the difference? What are the things we are going to learn as part of HTML? What exactly CSS will do? What exactly a JavaScript will do? Got it, right? But before getting into that, I would like to talk a little about the word called full stack. As of now we haven't touched that word called full stack, right? Okay, now here if you are talking about any web-based application, now I hope you people have come to know like something, every web-based application will have its own website, and other side it will be having something called its own server side software will be there. Got it right? So both will be always in connection. So both will be there. If you are using both together, then only you can able to achieve that particular utility of the application. That is the reason sometimes, if you don't have internet, then what happens? If you are trying to connect to Gmail, something like that, some pop-up window or some message will be getting in the browser, something like cannot connect to the Gmail server, cannot connect to the gmail.com server, something like that. Depending on the browser, a different kind of style of message will be displayed. But the message intention here is it is unable to connect to the server. Why? Because there is no connection, right? If there is no connection, unable to connect it to the server. If it is unable to connect it to the server, then you cannot achieve that activity. Got it right? So that is called, how this application will be working fine. But this entire application is nothing but, client side website should be there, as well as server side software should be there. Okay, fine. That is there and this is there. But as a normal user, assume there is one normal user. If he wants to connect to the entire application, and if he wants to work with Gmail, what he can see? He can see only sign up page, or he can see only sign in page. If you do sign up, and then if you provide correct username password as a login credential, then you can able to see his own home page, I can say, or dashboard page, or inside that in inbox page, something like that you can able to see. But you can't see how that data has been stored in the database. You got it right? I told that server will be having its own a database will be there, and what kind of database what I can say is people are using, and how that database is getting stored with your data, and how that is getting updated, and what are the queries they have written, or whatever it may be. Server side, how it is happening, user cannot see. User can see only sign up page, sign in page, home page, that kind of thing, right? So that's why we call this side, this website side is there, right? So this side, usually people call it as a front end here. In the industry, people call it as front end. And this is the one server side, whatever it's been happening, a normal user cannot see, right? So even though you connect it to our application, still you can't see. So that's why we call it as something like, a back end here. So that's the reason people, whoever is working on these technologies, usually be known as front end developers or front end engineers. And the persons who are working on these database and together, the server side technology, they are called back end developers, a backend engineers, a backend software developers. Uh, Especially this backend side people, most of the times will be called with their technology name, like in Java developer, or Python developer, or something like a Node developer. Got it? Yeah. Next year, same. Your entire application user cannot, directly connect to your backend, or user cannot see what is happening in there. The only thing you can able to see is sign up page, sign in page, right? So the normal user can be able to connect to your application only through this website. Yes or no? Only the front end side, right? So that is the front end website or web page will be acting as a interface between your own application and your customer. Your customer is your user. Got it right? So that is the reason we call this website with another name also, that is called something called UI, guys. UI is nothing but, user interface here. Got it? That's the reason people call whoever is working on these technologies are called UI developer. Okay, UI engineer, UI developer. And these technologies are also known as UI technologies. These technologies are called UI technologies. Clear? So these are the things will be there in the industry. Okay, fine. Then why full stack? See here, uh, earlier in the industry, it's okay to be either front-end developer or to be back-end developer, or the guys who were working on these, entering the data into database and getting the data from the database, only working on this database queries is known as a database engineer. That person also used to be there. But nowadays, what companies are asking is whoever is working on the backend as a Python or something like Node developer or Java, they are asking their employees to learn front-end technologies. Got it? And whoever is working as a front-end developer, they are forcing, asking or they are forcing their employees to learn a back-end technology, any of the back-end technology, either Python or Node or Java. You got it right? Because they don't want to have three three individual departments to handle uh, only one particular, you know, activity called, web development. You got it right? On only one particular application, they don't want three different departments to be there. Got it? So that's the reason they are asking their own front end guys to learn any of the back end technology, or they are forcing their back end guys to learn the front end technologies, right? In the industry, whoever, this is I'm talking about the guys who are already working, got it? And in the industry, whoever is working as front end developer, back end developer, they have to learn the other one. So the person who does this one called, front end activity, and at the same time this back end activity is known as a full stack developer here, guys. Clear? So we will be doing these two activities, both front end as well as back end activities, and they are called as full stack developer. And learning of both front end and back end is known as full stack development course, or full stack development, I can say. Got it? So the guys who is working as both front end as well as back end developers in the industry, they are called full stack developer. If one is already working, so they are their management is forcing them to learn the other side, right? So that is I'm talking the guys who are already working. But if somebody is coming as a full stack developer directly as a fresher, if a person is joining and that person knows both front end and back end, definitely an added advantage for that company, right? So that's the reason this full stack development on exactly this, especially this full stack developer job is the one which is like a hard cake in the market. Clear, right? Yeah. So this is about what exactly the full stack development is, right? I hope you guys got some idea what exactly the full stack development is. Okay. Now here I already told something like if you want to develop web pages, website, you should know how to develop something like a web page, right? So assume like certain technologies too. You already learned those technologies, that is like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then you can able to develop the web pages. Okay, fine. Assume like these are some web pages here. Okay, fine. But why three technologies, right? As I told you, three technologies. Master server side software, only one technology is enough. But if you want to learn web page development, you require three technologies. Means those three technologies should have its own importance in web development. That is, it will have its own duty to perform. HTML is the one which is responsible for the content of your web page, guys. What kind of content you usually observe in a web page? If you open any web page of any category, if you open, you are able to see something like some text right in that web pages, or no? And you can able to see something like some images will be there, or certain links will be there. People click them, right? Or something like what else you will be having, something like some video might be there, right? If it is a video streaming website, or some audio files might be there. Other than that, you have something like some forms and form fields will be there, right? So these are the things which usually observe by opening any web page related to any website, and inside that any web page you open, these are the things you will be observing, right? So this is called different kind of content. If you want to add any of these to your web page, you have to take the help of HTML. And in another words, I can say HTML is the one which is mainly responsible for the content of your web page here. So HTML is responsible for content of web page. Got it? Now assume like I have decided to go with uh, simple text in my web page. I don't want to have any image or link. Simple text I just want. Okay. Dear students, welcome to the first session of full stack development. Got it? This is the text I just wanted to put in my web page. Dear students, welcome to first session of full stack development. Or here I will write, dear students, okay, I'm just writing full stack session. Okay. Dear students, welcome to full stack session. This is the one I just want to keep in my website. Okay, fine. Now, I don't want to have any images and all. Okay, simple text. But this dear students, welcome to full stack session should be with should appear with red color or yellow color or blue color or green or white or black. You got my point, right? So that cannot be done with help of my HTML. You got it? With the help of HTML, I can only ensure that this text is present in my website or my web page. Anyhow, got it? So that is the place where your CSS comes into a picture here. So not only that color, guys, whatever I talk, just now, not only that color here. This dear student should be tilted. It is like straight, right? That what is straight now. I want it to be little bit tilted. Got it? Or I want that dear student should be in, some other font style. Usually we have something like Times New Roman, Calibri, Vardhana, or Arial, something like that you will be having, right? So different kind of style I want. Then we have to take the help of CSS here. Got it? So CSS is mainly, responsible for the appearance of your web page. It will not add different content. Using HTML only, you can able to add all different content. But the only thing, it is used to add some stylings to your web page. I can say it will add some styles to your web page. That is appearance of your web page. Got it? HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language. Whereas CSS stands for cascading style sheet. CSS stands for cascading style sheet. So okay, fine. Then why JavaScript here? See, using HTML, you can able to add all kind of content, right? Yes, I only told every content can be added. Any content can be added with the help of HTML. Fine. Then for the content, whatever it's been added so far, for the same, you can able to add any kind of styling with the help of CSS. Then what is the need of JavaScript then? Got it? Yeah. So here, if we use HTML and CSS, we can able to develop the web pages which are static in nature. You got it, right? The web pages, whatever you develop them with the help of only HTML and CSS, they will be static in nature. Static means user can open that one, that's it. He can able to read it, that's it. He can't do anything that one. He cannot interact with your website. Got it? So, but nowadays, no, it's not like that, right? Yes or no? Whatever the web pages we usually open and we work with them, they are dynamic in nature. Like user will be interacting with our website. So to add that dynamic nature to our web page, we will be using something called, a JavaScript here. That's the reason here. JavaScript is the one which will be deciding the behavior of your web page. Behavior means if a user select some option, then some kind of activity will be performed in the website. Or if you select another option, then another activity will be performed. You got it, right? So that is what it decides the behavior of your web page here. Got it? That is about your JavaScript. And how this is happening is by adding some dynamic nature to your web page here. Clear, guys? Yeah. So that is what that is the reason you require. We have to learn. It is required to learn JavaScript as well. Okay. So now, okay, fine. But whenever you're developing something through any technology, either it is front end side or back end side technology, whatever it may be, you will be using certain programming language you'll be using, and you'll be using programs by writing in certain programming language. Okay, fine. But sometimes what happens, the length of your program may increases like everything, right? Happens. So that's the reason there is something a special over special thing is there in the programming world called framework, guys. We call it something called framework. Framework is the one which is not a technology. This is not a technology, but framework is the one which is like a tool, I can say. It will be like a simple tool which will make programmers work easy, the developers work easy in any programming. It could be a back-end side programming, or it could be a front-end side programming. It will make programmers life easy. So in the same way, at back-end side, if you talk something, assume you are choosing something called Python language at backend, then we have a framework called Flask or something like Django. People call it Django, or some people call it Django, but Django a framework is there. Or if you're using something like something like Node.js, we have something a framework called Express.js. Got it, right? So the frameworks are the one which will make your work easy. Got it? Django is not a language, no. It is built on the top of Python. In the same way, Express.js is not a language or technology that is built on the top of Node.js. Got it? So like that, we have some frameworks here, and frameworks will make your work easy. In the same way, at front-end side also, see, HTML is the one which is just for adding content, right? So in HTML, we use something called tags here. You might heard this name something like tags. So we take the help of tags to add the content, which means if I want to add paragraphs in my web page, then I have to use something called p tag. P means paragraph tag. Got it? If I want to add image, then I have to use img, image tag. Using that, I can able to add the images. You understood, right? In the same way, that's it. No special programming in html, only just use tags and add different content. In the same way, css, we have something called style properties will be there. There will be certain default or predefined properties are there. They are called style properties, and we'll be using them, and with the help of that we can able to add some stylings to our web page. Got it? But there will be no special programming here also. But when it comes to JavaScript here, as I'm talking about dynamic nature, right? To provide dynamic nature to your web page, you have to write some programming there. So this is like a programming language here. You have to learn it. Got it? So for this one, whatever you do through normal JavaScript, the number of lines, so much of code. Yes, you can write everything with the help of JavaScript, but to make your work easy when you are doing something through JavaScript at front end, as you are doing something at backend through Python, Django will help you, right? If you are doing something through Node.js at backend, Express.js will help you, right? In the same way, if you are doing something at front end through JavaScript, there are famous frameworks are there. I can say UI frameworks or front end frameworks. They are Angular or React. If you know any one of them, that is fine. You don't require two. Got it, right? So that is called either Angular or React. Got it, guys? So now I hope you people got what exactly the full stack development is and why you have to learn the full stack development. Why? Because the full stack guys are the one who are responsible for, who will take care of the entire development of your web-based application from the scratch, starting from the HTML. We'll be working on these technologies as well as backend technology, as well as with the database, right? So that is what full stack development is about. And when it comes to uh, the session here, you will be able to learn something like in the course I'm talking about. In our course here, the course style would be, you will be learning the UI development. So as part of this UI, you will be learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Here you will be learning. So other than that, you will be learning one framework called Angular framework. You will be learning here. And next comes your backend here. So in the backend side, you'll be having both Node and Python. You'll be there. Node, Python, and coming to the database, you can learn any kind of database here. So while we are performing, certain projects or creating projects, at that time we'll be learning something like some SQL related database, using some SQL language. The databases, whatever we work, that is MySQL or Oracle or something kind of thing. For example, MySQL here, and we have something NoSQL related category. We have something like MongoDB. We'll be learning something like MongoDB here. So now, when it comes to this backend side, there is an optional thing, guys. Here, you can opt for something like either Node or for Python, Node or Python. Got it? And the guys who are opt for Node, will be learning the full stack with Node.js, and the guys who opt for backend as Python will be learning full stack with Python here. And there is a special name is there for the guys who learn full stack course with Node. Have a special name is there for their full stack, something called mean. If somebody says mean stack and all, don't think like that is something different. So here mean is nothing but in that mean, M stands for here MongoDB, M is MongoDB, E is Express. Okay, see guys, if you are learning something through Node means Express will be there anyhow because that is a framework, right? That will help it. So definitely Express will be there. If you are learning something Python means Django will be there. Okay, in mean M means MongoDB, E means Express, and N means Node, whereas A means Angular, guys. Okay, anyhow UI will be there. Will be there anyhow. But other than that, people call instead of calling it as Node full stack, they will be calling it as mean stack. Got it? If they call mean stack also, don't think that is something different. No, nothing. That is just learning this full stack course with Node as a backend technology. Got it right? So this is about what are the things you are going to learn in the uh, course here. So in this course, what you will be learning here is if you are done with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So after that, you'll be learning something like Angular and something. That moment you will be having a project will be there which is related to that project will be there which is related to a front end. So with respect to front end, you will be learning a project will be there. One project will be there which is related to front end will be there. Next, when it comes to the back end, using this any of the technology and as well as using the database, one database and one of the technologies we'll be using, and with the help of that we'll be creating a pure backend project will be there. One more project we'll be creating one more simple application with the help of pure backend technologies. That will be there one more application, and at the end whatever you have developed a backend, for the same backend to work with the same backend you will be creating a simple front end for that. Using Angular you will be creating a front end for that, and two applications will be clubbed together to work or to achieve the full-fledged complete full stack application. Got it right? So that application also you will be learning at the end of the course here. So that is called a complete full stack application here. So both backend and front end will be clubbed together, and that one will give you another the third application I can say. So you will be learning minimum of three projects here in the course itself, in the classroom itself. You will be learning the three projects here. Got it? This is about what I'm telling here is whatever you will be learning here is everything will be a practical approach, guys. It is not like something we will be learning something some theoretical concepts and we'll be finishing it. No, no, it won't be like that. But everything will be learning practically here. So once the session is finished, the uh, online session, once it is getting completed, once the session is getting completed, and you will be having an access to the entire course actually. Online access will be provided to you, the portal access I can say, where with your mail ID you can able to log in and assume somehow you have missed one class, one particular day you have missed the class, then no problem. In the next day itself, whatever it's been missed, the same thing you can able to see at your home. You can able to see that one, and if you still have any doubts, and in the next session itself, you are free to ask. You got it right? It's not like something will be taught in the class and that's gone, and again you are unable to see that. No, not in that way. Got it? The what I can say is video sessions, recorded video sessions will be there, and you will be given the access for that. Got it? And whenever it is required, that is some content or some programs, whenever it is required, as per the situation, after 2 3 days or after 4 5 days, I will be sending you the content also to your mail ID, guys. Okay, so and the course will last for 2 months, 2.5 months. The course will be there. 2 months, around 2 months. It will be there. Depends. 2 months, 10 days, something kind of that one. 2 plus. It will be there. The course will last for 2 months, guys. Clear? So that's it from my side, guys. Okay, I hope you people got some idea what exactly the full stack development is and what are the course what are the contents we are going to cover in our course. I hope you got that idea, and I'm open to your questions, guys. I'm done from my side, and I'm open to your questions. You can ask your questions by unmuting yourself, or you can drop your question in the chat box as well. No problem. Do we learn Python here? Yeah, if you prefer backend as Python, then you will be learning Python. If you prefer Node.js, that is choice I told, right? Either Node or Python. If you prefer Node, then uh, you won't be learning Python. Guys, try to drop your details to Visualpath admin. Yeah, you can send them via private chat. You can send your details to Visualpath admin organizer. If still anybody has not provided. Suresh Kumar, able to hear me? Just let me know if you have any doubts regarding session. Hello. Hello, Suresh. I'm unable to hear you. You can drop message. Hello. Hello, Suresh. You are unmuted, but still I'm unable to hear you. So you do one thing, no problem. Just drop your question if you have any. Else, if you are clear, just mention like you are clear. No problem. Sushmita, if you still have any doubts, just unmute yourself. You can ask, or just let me know like you are. Yeah. To learn. Yeah. What, Sushmita? I did not get you.
No doubt, sir. I'm clear.
Clear. Okay.
Can I leave, sir?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. You can do if you are done.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Suresh Kumar, yeah, not only Suresh, yeah. If you don't have any prior programming knowledge, yeah, still it is fine, no problem. But you should have that, what I can say that zeal to learn program. Okay, why? Because here everything I will be starting from the scratch only. No HTML. If you don't have any knowledge, even in the HTML also fine. Everything is fine. The only thing is, you should have that, a zeal to learn the programming language, and as well as you have to spend some time. Got it. That you should be ready with that thing. If you're ready with that one, then that is fine, not required, because everything I will be starting from the scratch. No need to worry. Even though you are not from the programming background earlier, still no need to uh, worry about that. Clear? I will be helping you. Don't worry. I hope you people have provided your details to Visualpath admin, right? Suresh and Chindu, you have given, right? If you haven't provided, just to provide them. Okay. Visualpath admin is there right here. Starting that, you just to provide your details. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. Then yeah, that's it from my side. I hope you people are in a position to just understand what exactly the full stack development is, right? Yeah. Okay, guys. Then yeah, it's nice to meet you guys. Okay. Yeah, we'll see rest of the things in our next session. That is, I'm looking forward to meet you soon, guys. Okay, then bye, guys. Take care.